You may have seen this city before, but many people have been asking me, Dimoff, how did you build this wizard tower? Or potentially your Colosseum? But most importantly, how is Titus so damn cute? And I can't answer all those questions, but I'll try my best. But of course, before we get into the video, this is Dimoff Gaming, I'm Dimoff, this is my best friend Titus, and welcome to the channel. Now before we actually get into the kingdom, I think it's pretty important to show you guys how we found the location for the kingdom. And so we loaded in, but clearly not looking like this guy. And 5 minutes later, we made it. Now, of course, when you start the game, you look at the map and you realize, man, I know nothing and I have a long ways to travel. And of course we did. Now, I did this all with my buddy Luke, but Luke isn't here, so Titus is going to be the substitute. So of course I looked at Luke and I said,
"Are you prepared for the most glorious adventure that we have ever known, brother?"
To which he replied,
"Why do you sound like that? But, yes, I'm ready to go."
And so we set off.
Oh, wait, gotta use the bathroom.
And so Titus, aka Luke, set off. But this wasn't his first rodeo. He knew he needed additional adventures to make the trip. And this is where he met the other dogs, dwarves. And now that all of our heroes are together, it was time for them to set off. But little did they know what treacheries lay ahead. They crossed rough seas full of serpents, fought in battles that they had no reason to be part of, other than, of course, for Frodo. Hell, they even got to ride on eagles. Just like this guy, except he looks a little bit hurt. Wait, what was that? Oh, they didn't even give a damn? And yet all that matters is after that massive adventure and tons of side quests, they finally found the land of our kingdom. Luke was beyond ecstatic when he found a lake with an island on it completely surrounded by the ocean. Look at all the different places he had to travel just to find this location.
Have returned from the battle. Now are you ready to set out on our adventure, brother? Well, the thing is, we kind of already found our home base.
You see, the thing is I was only gone for about 5 minutes, and Luke only traveled from about here to here. But once he showed me the base, I completely agreed it was perfect. Now that we have officially arrived at Yargin Hargin and docked at the shipyard, I think the first building I should show you will be the shipyard. And yes, although quite embarrassing for someone who's sailed their whole life, I did put a steering wheel on my Viking shipyard, which doesn't make any sense because they steer their boats controlling the rudder by hand. Back when I was building this base, there wasn't a whole lot of different light sources, and so by utilizing the item stands and the diverger helmets, I was able to light up my bridge blue as well as my shipyard. Although that's the first building that I showed you, it is not the first building that we made. As you can see on the map, there's a perfectly safe island right in the center of the lake that kept us safe from all the bad, everything. And so this is where we first built, and this was the perfect starter base that had everything we needed to really get going in the game. Right here in the center is where we kept all of our sorted loot. We had every station needed for crafting, as well as everything needed for a forge. Above the dining hall in the main building, I actually wanted to add the Yggdrasil tree, I'm the same person that also spelled kernel and bologna. Now, one of the most important parts of our starter base is the fact that we had a dungeon, prison, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Either way, if the tide rose high enough, you would actually drown inside of it, so not a good place to be. Alrighty, moving on to a happier deal, we decided to expand our base beyond the island that we started on. Now you may have all the crafting structures that you need, but you still need a way to sustain your life, and so, next thing that we worked on was a farm. And then of course you need somewhere to sell all of your goods, so the next thing I created was the market. Now I had some fun when creating my market, especially with the names of every single store. As you can see here, we have Bartholomew's Beauteous Berries, and behind it, Titus's Tactical Tools. Next is Baldwin's Barbaric Bakery, Sabina's Soup, Sir William's Weapon Shop, Joffrey's Goods, and last but not least, Mazzolina's Magnificent Meats. Now, of course, in any kingdom, you need somewhere to eat, so that's why we created Troll's Head Tavern. I also want to mention that this was all made about 4 years ago, so many of the structures that are in here are all older, and we didn't have any of the new structures to add to the building, but I still love the old value that it has. Now, some of you may have noticed that it says Hegan Hogan to your seat, and when I created this sign, there was no one in the game named Hegan Hogan, but eventually my friend did name himself that. The only funny part is, he died there and then never resumed to play again. So having the sign that says Hegan Hogan to your seat and the dead body there, I think is perfect. I just leave it. Going from the water all the way up to actually where I have my keep is quite a scale and elevation, and this was before there was any modding or any sort of creative mode, so I literally had to spend months actually digging out this entire mountain and cutting down every single tree. As you can see here, my buddy Titus is helping me do so. The next building we're going to look at is actually one of my favorite buildings I've ever made in the game, and many of my friends' favorite as well. This is my kingdom's Wizard Tower. I wanted it to look like it was a tree coming out of the ground, as well as have an elven touch from World of Warcraft. I personally think the building looks much better at night and really helps the green pop out, but let me know your opinions in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. As always, I'm Dimoff Gaming, here's my best friend Titus, and welcome to the channel. Previously, I had mentioned a couple different ways that I was going to make the video of the entire city, but I finally come to the solution that this right now is actually about 1/3 of the city shown. So this will be part 1 of 3, and over the next week and a half, I'm going to post part 2 and 3.